not saying this to be rude to you, Jim. Steve, you know me better than that. I wrote this morning in chat, Trump gave one more threat, one more thing. He said, well, you know, they waited too long. They waited too long. And it sounds like I made him a deal that they can't refuse. And I wrote and said, did he sign it? Donald John Gotti Trump? Because what does that mean? And you said, you're talking to maniacs, maniacal people, as if I didn't know that. Of course I know who he's talking to. But he's also not saying what he's saying. What is he saying? What is he doing? What is this war? What is he doing? Is he going to keep bombing them? We know he's not going to go boots on the ground. What is he going to do? How does he get out of this war? Because that's what you have to do. You got to get out of this war. And is he going to get out of this war? Is he making a deal where they're not going to have a nuclear weapon in 5 years? We need to know that. And instead he talks to us 2 weeks ago and says, I'm bored. I'm bored with negotiations.
I'm bored with the war.
Anybody recall that quote? Who said he was bored with negotiations? This is a person who not only is he bombastic, of course he's bombastic. We already know that. He makes every decision with his gut. We know he doesn't sit down, and if he sat down and listened to people, we wouldn't have had the New York Times article that talked about his staff, people in his cabinet, having a meeting without him because they don't want him to know certain things. We have to understand, and he doesn't make us understand anything because he doesn't know what he's talking about. He talks. He talks. And Steve, you call it bombastic.
Projection alert!
We have to try to understand his
Projection alert!
personality. Every time we try to understand his personality and apply it to a war, that is not a person who should be president in a war. He's just not. And I said to you this morning when you kind of made fun of me about my post, and I said, please then tell me, what did he say? What does he mean? Because I don't understand it. So we're in a war, and he's making offers that he thinks they shouldn't have refused, and he's threatening, but he's telling us what to do. And then we talk about, Steve talks about the psychology of it.
But if you do, thank you, and have a...
And that's to be said, for us to take him and say we're not supposed to really take him at his word. We don't know what to take. His word is always, I've told you something and it's not true. That's what seems to be happening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Imagine